In recent months, have seen two major shifts shaken up the Steam gaming community. Valve's tougher decision on in-game ads and its renewed push to breathe new life into older source engine games like Team Fortress 2. Steam decisions to ban or restrict games that run in-game advertisement has tried controversy. On one hand, I understand the frustration of users who are tired of being interrupted by ads in their purchased games. For players, the idea of paying for a game only to be bombarded with intrusive advertisement can be incredibly annoying and feel like a breach of trust. However, there is a broader question of developer intent. In some cases, developers might use ads to support the free to play model, offering a gameplay experience without upfront costs but relying on ad revenue to keep the game afloat. On the other hand, there are cases where ads are used in paid games, causing even more irritation. It's no surprise that EA and Ubisoft are looking into in-game advertisement, especially in titles like Apex Legends, FC25, or Rainbow Six Siege. This trend reflects the broader industry shift where publishers are trying to balance the growing cost of game development with the need for continuous revenue. But the implication of ads in such games has the potential to significantly affect how players perceive and experience these titles. The reason behind this move is pretty clear. They rely on microtransaction for their income. However, microtransaction can only go so far before they disrupt players' experience, especially when they start feeling like the game is more about monetization than fun. Investors want more money, and they already somehow have destroyed all of these games. If you look at EA and Ubisoft recent charts, their games are not performing good. The reason is heavy microtransaction. In an interview with GamesIndustry.biz, Ubisoft's director of subscription, Philip Tremblay, said that players should get used to not owning their game. Tremblay implied that gamers should leave behind the habit of owning physical copies of games, similar to how people stop buying CDs and DVDs. He said that gamers won't lose their progress if they resume a game at a later time. Tremblay also said that subscription services have grown rapidly in recent years, but they still relatively small compared to other models. In short, he's trying to say gamers should never own a game. It's better to have a subscription model if you want to play game. And in recent time, news came, EA is reportedly considering a more progressive in-game ad policy with regards to its AAA game. According to the recent earnings calls for developers, CEO Andrew Wilson stated that the company is working on a thoughtful implementation of ads with work on the new system still being early in development. The ad or subscription business in-game has exploded over the last few years. And publishers are realizing that they can profit without forcing players to buy skin, battle pass, or other in-game purchases. With a well-placed ad, they can create a steady income stream without impacting gameplay too drastically, or so they hope. The biggest concern here is how ads will affect the player's experience. One of the joy of playing Apex Legends, FC25, or any game like Rainbow Six Siege or Valorant is fast-paced, impressive gameplay. Ads interrupt the immersion. Imagine trying to make a quick decision in a high-stakes game only for an ad to pop up on your screen. It could take you out of the moment and frustrate you, especially if the ad is intrusive or not relevant to your interests. Valve actually matters. The big studios, no matter how big you are, you have to listen to the valve because PC gaming is growing, so is Steam is growing, and Steam has one of the largest player base. Steam is one of the largest game store on PC, and if you want to have your games on PC and you want to sell your games on PC, Steam is the best platform. When EA releases Apex Legends, they release on their EA Origin app, but they didn't hit any big mark on the EA Origin app. So they switched their game to Steam platform. Although if you see at current situation, all of the EA games are now on Steam because they realizes that Steam is the biggest platform, so if they want more players in, they have to release their game on Steam. After they release Apex on the Steam, in the first week, Apex hits 10 million player count, and in first month, Apex hit 50 million players. That shows that Steam is very important, so you don't want to mess with Steam, and you can't dethrone Steam. If you want your games on PC to be successful, the only platform and only reliable platform is Steam. And add on to all the Steam ad policy, Valve also stated that you can't exploit Steam marketing or in general Steam store page to promote your game. It's not like that Steam or Valve don't like monetization. They do have a approved monetization policy. Like, if you talk about the cross promotions, developer can run many different kinds of cross promotional activities on Steam, such as bundles, sales events, and more. Promotion may involve the other Steam product or products brands outside of Steam. These types of promotion are encouraged and many customers find value in them. However, under no circumstances is it okay to charge other developer to participate in a bundle or to sell access to a sale page or other page on Steam. What you can't do is you can't bundle two games into one. Like there is a game called Black Myth and there is a game called Avoid. Usually people are not enjoying Avoid, so Avoid is going into the losses. But people love Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong costs around $40 and Avoid is cost around $70. So what you'll do, you'll just bundle both of these games. You charge players around $60 and you promote that bundle as a Black Myth bundle with the additional game included is Avoid. You basically can't do that. People who loves Black Myth Wukong will go and say, oh, we get a Black Myth Wukong in a $50 pricing and we get additional game that's a win-win situation. And you buy that bundle and you play Black Myth and you just try it Avoid and you just forget about the Avoid because when in the first place you never want to purchase Avoid. There's a win-win situation for both of these developers, especially for the one that is being flopped in the recent times. When adding to this, paid advertising outside Steam is absolutely fine. Developers may want to run paid advertisement campaigns to drive traffic to the Steam product pages. We recommend taking advantage of store widgets and UTM analytics to help enhance and measure the effectiveness of any Steam campaign. So basically they are saying, yes, you can run ads outside the Steam to actually promote your Steam product pages. So that's absolutely fine. But what about in-game promotions or advertisement? Like advertisement is a different thing, but promotions or the sponsorship is also a different thing. Like for example, Forza Horizon having a Lamborghini car, and Lamborghini is a promotional car in that game that Lamborghini want to promote, and they have given the license to Forza Horizon to actually put a Lamborghini car in their game, or the Lamborghini having a Red Bull skin on it and also sponsored by the Red Bull to promote the Red Bull brand. If that is allowed on Steam, somehow yes. It's called the product placement. Games may contain real brands, products, personalities, etc. as a part of gameplay, provided such portrayals are not disruptive and are appropriate within the context of the game. For example, a racing game might feature real-life sponsors logo on its racing cars, or skateboard game might include character wearing a real-world brands. Not that all developer must obtain the relevant permission or license for any copyright content contained in their games. Similar to football having a Nike kit or a Puma kit, and it is sponsored and licensed by Nike and Puma. That is allowed and not inappropriate. In the recent time, Apex Legends got Final Fantasy collaboration event. In those event, There's a plenty of character skins which are relatable to the Final Fantasy characters, and also they added a Buster Sword from Final Fantasy, and there's also been a 2-week event where you can play with all of these stuffs in Apex Legends. So basically, Final Fantasy developers are being invested in the game, and this looks like a real collaboration. What's not accepted in the ad policy of Steam, that you are seeing a Final Fantasy trailer as an ad in the game for 30-40 seconds, and that just interrupting your game and not being relevant to the game context. Adding to this, what is not supported? Developers should not utilize paid advertising as a business model in their game, such as requiring players to watch or otherwise engage with advertising in order to play, or getting gameplay behind advertising. If your game business model relies on advertising on the other platforms, you will need to remove those elements before shipping on Steam. Some options you could consider include switching to a single purchase paid app, or making your game free to play with optional upgrades sold via microtransactions or downloadable content DLC. Developers should not use advertising as a way to provide value to players, such as giving players a reward for watching or engaging with advertising in their game. Developers should not charge other developers for access to Steam features. These include sale pages, bundles, store pages, and franchise pages, etc. Let me give you one example of what is going on here and what Steam don't want and what Steam wants. I'll give you an example of a game called Death Stranding. Death Stranding have a scene where a bunch of monsters can shown on screen, and the main characters wake up and drink one of the monsters can. And in this whole scene, 60 to 70% of the screen covered with the monster's can, and you keep on seeing only one thing, that's a monster's can. That's also a unskippable ad, because you're forcefully seeing that monster's can that is not relevant to the game, so it's an unskippable ad. It's a way of showing you a ad that's exploitation of the Steam policies. That's the thing that Steam don't want. Of course, that Steam don't want a proper in-game ads, but this is also comes in the not supported policy. This is a complete exploitation of the Steam ad policies. There's going to be two opinions, or you can say two theories on this decision of Valve. One is that Valve is actually care about gamers and they want to provide a very friendly user experience to all of its gamers. The second is very controversial, is that if the game having in-game ads and the in-game promotions which are not benefiting Steam in any ways, Steam don't want that on their platform. Valve's decision to ban these games could make Steam a more consistent and user-friendly platform, but there is a downside. It might push some indie developers to abandon the platform in favor of other monetization methods. The line between acceptable ad practices and exploitative ones is very thin, and I'm curious how Valve will continue to navigate this space. Ultimately, Steam decisions feel like a move in the right direction for most players, but it might be tougher for smaller developers trying to balance their financial needs with the player satisfaction. Valve renewed interest in updating older source games like Team Fortress 2, and releasing the TF2 SDK is nothing short of amazing. TF2, despite being over a decade old, still holds a huge place in the hearts of many players, and these updates indicate that Valve hasn't forgotten about it. The release of the TF2 SDK is a welcome gift for the modeling community, giving creators the tools to continue innovating and building new content. The updates, although not groundbreaking, show Valve's commitment to the longevity of their old titles. They've been a bit quiet in recent years, especially in terms of big new releases, but it's good to see them back to supporting their past projects. One of the things that have always made Valve's special is the robust community support, and release of tools like the TF2 SDKs only strengthen that bond. It might not be flashy, big budget releases, but it's clear that Valve still cares about games that build their reputations. So it's happy to see that Valve is coming forward and saying that they don't want the games that runs in-game ads, no matter how big that game is or how small that game is. They wanna build a cleaner community, and they want to give the best experience to their user. It's incredible seeing, and also adding the supports to the older, decade older source engines is also very good. Okay guys, so that's it for the video. Share your thoughts about the decisions that Steam made it, and if you like the video, you can hit the like button. We'll meet in the next video guys. Till then, bye bye, take care, and keep gaming.